Hello, how are we? Welcome back to the channel, Up the Reds TV, with me, Andy Cambe. So this one's a double header. This one is the preview for the game against Athletic Bilbao tomorrow, and also what I think is going to happen to Alexander Isak's transfer to Liverpool, or not so. But that's a bit later on. So let's get on with tomorrow's game. It's a double header, 5 o'clock kickoff and an 8 o'clock kickoff. So it'll be two sets of teams playing for Onslaught in both of those games against Bilbao, who no doubt will bring their A team and B team for that matter. So it'll be interesting if he plays the strongest team first in the first game, or the 8 o'clock kickoff, or vice versa. But whatever, it should be a good game, and it should give us some insight into the final pre-season game before we play Crystal Palace next weekend in the Community Shield. So the club have done a commemorative programme for Diogo Jota. No doubt, I think there'll be a bit about his brother in there as well. So that will be handed out at the game tomorrow. So, which is going to be a nice thing that Liverpool have done since the death of Diogo and his brother. It's about a month ago now, and time does fly, doesn't it? So yeah. Looking forward to the game. I'll be watching it on LFC TV. I'm actually off tomorrow, but I'm in early doors on work on Tuesday, so I won't be going to the game. But I'll be watching it from the comfort of my armchair and reporting back on here in the post match. But that might be on Tuesday, the post match, because it might be a bit too late to do one after the games have finished. So yeah. So let's get on to any other business. Tyler Morton has gone. So we've agreed a fee of £15 million with Leon. He's probably had his medical done by now, so I can't see there being any issues in that. Just formalities for him. Good move for Tyler. He's played enough football in the lower leagues in this country, but he's going to have a stint abroad. So wish him well for that move there for him. Transfer business from Liverpool side. Obviously, there's other players that still are available, but no bids have been made for those Liverpool players. Incidentally, there's no bids made by Liverpool other than the Alexander Isak one, the £110 million plus add-ons, which was rejected by Newcastle, which I expected it would have been from those guys. It's the first bid. There will be a second bid, no doubt about that. And that leads on to my next bit about this, why I think Alexander Isak will come to Liverpool, or possibly everything has been agreed between the owners, FSG and PIF. I just think it's just a bit of a merry-go-round circus that's been played out in front of the media and the supporters. One lot of supporters up in arms about the way the player has treated the club, and other supporters were just thinking, we've been through all this before with our players here, and we feel sorry for Newcastle supporters, but it is what it is, and we've had that done to us many times, and it's took us well over 10 years to get that sorted out. We're even talking about Philip Coutinho. He was a player that left us. He was feigning injuries and things like that. We'd promised that he'd stay, then he wouldn't. Then we sold him for a maximum price in the January transfer window. Then he went, and the rest is history. But even recently, if you look at the bids that we had in for Luis Diaz, we turned the initial bid down from Bayern Munich, and we accepted maybe a second or third bid from Bayern Munich, and all parties agreed, and he's made his move. So, I don't think it was a silly offer that Liverpool made. Nobody knows the true value of the player apart from a few people at Newcastle, and believe me, it will be a few people. Yes, the line has been strung out to the supporters that the fee is got to be in the region of £150 million. I don't think Liverpool will pay that. We'll pay possibly 130, 135 maximum, and even that will have add-ons as well. So why do I think it's going to happen? Well, FSG and PIF have a good relationship because of their interest in golf. So you'll say, what's that got to do with Liverpool Football Club? Well, if you just give me a few moments just to explain. So PIF obviously is the public investment fund owned by the Saudis, the royal family, the connections. There's no getting away with it. They invest in a lot of things: boxing, golf, Formula One, the Saudi Pro League. They invest in tennis, wrestling. I mean, wrestling, really. As you can see, I'm not a fan. Horse racing, they're massive horse race lovers. So they invest in all that. They also invest in Newcastle Football Club. FSG, what's the connection? Well, the connection is that FSG set up a company called Strategic Sports Group, and they invited in investors. Now, we're not talking about your Johnny-go-lucky walking down the street. We're talking about billionaire investors, right, who have the same interest as FSG. So they set up a company called Strategic Sports Group, and they injected £1.5 billion. That's right, £1.5 billion into the PGA Tour enterprises. So what's that's done is that has competed with PIF in what public investment fund are doing and how the players went over there. Obviously, they put billions in, and they told the players, look, you will be earning this much money, regardless if you finish first or you finish 28th or whatever. But this is the money that you will be earning. And obviously, there would be bigger checks for the winners. And you've seen the trophies that they do in Saudi. They don't do minute, do they? They do massive trophies. You need about 4 extensions to put all their trophies in. So that's how they were doing, and that's how they were paying. And that's, you saw an influx of golfers going over to live golf. So the PGA had to do something about it. They thought that they had the worldwide rights for the golf, but they didn't. But they couldn't compete with the public investment fund. So they had to do something. So in step, who would you get? Who's got a good idea of how to do these things? John Henry. And he came in and he gave him a plan. He set up a board. The SSG board mainly consists of FSG people, and but the money has come from all sorts. So the deal was struck for 1.5 billion. Now, unlike Liv, I don't think Liv are bothered about profits, but the SSG one is like FSG. They are in it for the profit returns. They're not in it for the 2 minutes. They're in it for the million hours plus. They're in it for the long haul. So again, they've competed with that on that level. They're also looking into getting involved in more of the PGA competitions and taking overall in charge of them. Golf's moving quickly. It's they wanted to make it more global, more branded. You know, it's been sort of like lagging behind, not financially wise, but of things to do. I mean, Liv they play shorter rounds. There's music being played while the players are playing, you know, and things like that. So yeah, it's and they're trying to bring SSG. They're trying to bring golf, you know, up to today's levels, and the players are responding. But however, the players have a purse before they've even got onto the driving range for practice. So yeah, that's how it is, you know. And as I say, they're looking to invest in the Ryder Cup setup and also the other competitions that the PGA run. So what's that got to do with PIF? Well, PIF, which is who invested in Live Golf, are also invested in SSG. So there's one of your partners already. So we have a working relationship already with Newcastle owners at the top table. So as I said, there is a circus that's being played out in the media and in front of the supporters about the transfer of Alexander Isak. So on that note, with the big men at the top tables already speaking, I think a deal's already been done and it's just a matter of time. Yes, it says in the media that Newcastle are waiting for a replacement to come in, but that's the tone that both FSG and PIF would like you to know. But like I say, I think the business has already been done. You know, and it is only a matter of time what will happen. Newcastle come back from their tour. They drew 1-1 with Tottenham, was it? So they'll be flying back from their Asia tour. They'll be back training in the next couple of days. Alexander Isak is advised to go into training this week. You know, there's been a lot of nonsense coming from who I thought were decent supporters from Newcastle. A lot of nonsense about him going on strike, training away, he's feigning an injury, etc. But that's how football is. You know, football will never ever change. You will not have football players and agents will always get what they want at the end of the day. That's how it is. Whether a player stays, whether there's a gentleman's agreement, whether there's a release clause in the contract. I mean, the best thing that you could do is not put a release clause in a contract. But agents and players request that because they know that going to certain clubs, it's a stepping stone to get to a bigger club. And this is what it is in this case. It's basically that. It's a player who has delivered for that team. Some details about what's been promised have come out, leaked out, and other things have happened at that club as well. So, which has left them short up top to try and get their transfers in. So yeah, we're only doing what, as in turning Isak's head, as what Newcastle have done to Isak and turning his head at Brentford. He wants to go to Newcastle. There's nothing different about it in my eyes. All clubs do it, and there's a saga that's going on there. This is a saga that we've got with ourselves. We're never going to walk away from a second bid. As I said, it was ludicrous what the YouTubers were putting out, the Sky Sports were putting out. You know, we're always going to go back with a second bid. And like I say, I think the transfer's already done. And we're just playing this silly circus game now. Possibly take us to the end of the transfer window, if I'm honest with you. But yeah, that's it. So there you go. We have a good working relationship with Piff, and I can't see anything but Isak coming to us. And if I'm wrong about that, you know me, I'll come on here and I'll apologise and admit to you guys I got it totally wrong, because honesty is the best thing if you do anything wrong, especially when you talk about Liverpool Football Club. Okay, that's enough from me. I will do you a post-match on Tuesday evening, and hopefully we'll have a bit more news on other matters at Liverpool. But just finally, before I go, we're now 3 days into the new Adidas 10-year contract. That was a bit funny, wasn't it? Liverpool putting in the bid of 110 million after Adidas came on board. I think as soon as Adidas came on board and the money went into the bank, Liverpool was spending it. So that's just a tongue-in-cheek, by the way. So if you like this video, please give me a like, please share it, and please subscribe to the channel if it's the first time that you are watching. It'd be great to have many subscribers to this channel. Enjoy your Sunday evening. Up the Reds.